My roommate always belittles me, but I thought we were friends.
Oh, that's not what friends do.
No.
That's not what friends are for.
Hello, I'm seeking the internet for some advice. I am currently in a year-long lease. I have 7 more months to go before it's up. I live with my best friend, or at least someone who I thought was my best friend.
Ooh, betrayal.
Dun, dun, dun.
Intrigue.
By the way, this comes from Confession Anonymous on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So when we first moved in, everything seemed great. She did pressure me into it by saying things like, I will not be friends with you anymore if we don't get this. And saying things about my mom who couldn't leave work like her mom could to be able to tour it. She said, I will hate your mom if she can't get over here to tour the place.
This person sucks really fast.
So much to say, we're like 4 sentences in.
This isn't belittling. This is just like a complete lack of respect in any way.
Yes. I should have seen the big red flag right there, but I brushed it off because she's my best friend and I don't want to lose her. Anyway, we moved in and it was so much fun. I couldn't believe I got my own place less than a year out of high school and I got to share the experience with my best friend.
She hates your mom though.
Yeah. Maybe
guess.
she's your best friend, but I don't know if you're her best friend.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
no.
It was all great until about 2 months in. That's all it took.
That is not a long time.
Not a long time. My best friend got very comfortable with being able to do whatever she wanted. She didn't have strict parents, but hated having to tell them where she went, and she barely had a curfew. Only needed to be home if there was something they needed her home for. But with this newfound freedom, she cut most of her family off, was having someone over every night, getting wasted. She's a few years under the drinking age, and overall being crazy with the new freedom.
We do not condone underage consumption of any substance.
Not at all, not at all. She's always been the type of person to say what's on her mind and tell people how it is. She used to be kind to me when I met her and when we spent our days together back in high school. Over time, she grew meaner. I'm not sure if it's from her becoming more comfortable with me and her thinking I won't leave, but she says horrible things to me. Constantly talks down about my mom or my family, who has been nothing but kind and welcoming. She's called me a B and other curse words. She told me I'm a horrible person if I don't want to go out with her at night because I work early in the morning.
So I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
That's the unforgivable.
Yeah. Like shaming her for being responsible.
Yeah.
Hello?
You know, this is a codependent friendship.
Yeah.
You signed up for it. It's actually in the lease.
Right. You just missed that part. It's in the fine writing. She always says I'm a boring person because I work full time, which she doesn't anymore. She gets weekends off, but I don't. She's seasonal, but will sometimes get decent part-time hours. She gets paid over $20 an hour to sit and watch the elderly. I know there's more to it sometimes, but her main lady doesn't require anything but for someone to make sure she's all right. Does not seem like a responsible person to be watching over an elderly person.
I don't think either of these people should be watching the elderly.
Yeah. Well, I manage customer service on 9-hour days, and I do multiple things a day that require me to be up and running for those 9 whole hours. Unlike her, I don't get paid to sit and watch TikTok or do nothing. She likes to use my job against me. She would yell at me for only being part-time and that I needed to get a second job or quit and get something full-time somewhere else. Didn't she just say she was like full-time? Pretty much.
She works 9-hour days?
Yeah.
Maybe she only does it like 3 times a week though.
Yeah, maybe. Luckily, I was able to get a full-time position that required weeks of training, but I got a small pay raise and was able to start making a little less than double what I used to in a week. However, now that I'm full-time like she wanted, it's just another thing to yell at me for. She will belittle me and yell at me if I say I'm tired. She claims I shouldn't be tired because my job is easy. Customer service at a grocery store is easy and you don't actually do anything. I think that's probably a lie. Customer service anywhere has gotta be hard.
It sounds like someone who's never had a job for real before.
Yeah, like she needs to be saying these things to herself.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually do a lot. She will then name every reason she has the right to be tired and I can't be. More to the point, it's hard living with someone who constantly brings me down. That makes sense.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah. Makes me feel like I'm not worth anything and can't do a single thing right. We've been getting in arguments lately because I'm starting to chime my opinion in and it doesn't align with her. hers, so I get interrupted and screamed at. If my family wants to come over, then it's too much and she doesn't want to be in the presence of other people. But if her family wants to stop by, then they can stay all night and eat our food and it doesn't matter. I'm unfortunately a lonely person, so I don't have any other friends than her. So I don't get to invite other people over like she does. There's always someone over and she'll completely interrupt me. For example, I was watching a movie when she came home with a friend I've never met before. She sits far across from this friend, so I'm in between. That's so awkward.
Dude,
why would you do that?
There's no way she's about to do what I think she's about to do.
Oh gosh. I don't know what you're thinking.
Well, it's like, so
I'm so
she's
scared.
she's sitting there watching a movie.
Yeah.
She walks in with her friend and they sit on either side of her.
I'm scared. She's gonna die. She's
They're
gonna get
about
murdered.
to start going blah, 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 blah across OP.
Probably not even about the movie, too.
No, just about anything.
Oh my gosh. She proceeds to take the remote from me and turn down the TV volume to almost nothing so she can have a conversation across the room with the friend she brought over.
It's somehow even worse. I didn't anticipate the remote volume to 1. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, oh my God.
That is crazy. When I mentioned I was watching it, she said she doesn't care and she needs to be able to have a conversation.
You can have one somewhere else?
Yes.
What?
That's what rooms are for. That's what public spaces are for. I left the room after that. I want to feel comfortable in my own space, but I don't feel that way until I know she won't be home. She spends the night at her boyfriend's here and there, and if I know she won't be home for the night, my body and mind relaxes. I can feel it. I want to say she's a narcissist as per the internet, since her qualities line up with many of the same as a narcissist, and she's straight up such a mean person. I don't feel comfortable leaving my stuff with her. Her stuff is all throughout the apartment. It's in the bathroom, the closet, the kitchen, just everywhere. But as for me, my stuff is only in my room besides my toothpaste and a few cups in the kitchen. By the way, you can watch us anywhere in your house. You can watch us in the kitchen, in the closet, in the bathroom if you so please, because we're live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. Just tap our profile.
And we might even be live right now.
Oh, yeah.
But before you check on that, let's finish this story.
Yes.
Really
what do we
quick,
think so
though,
far? Yeah.
Like, another thing I didn't even think about until like right now, imagine being the friend when she came home and like just like railroaded the TV and turned it all the way down. Like,
and then being there like when she's obviously just being blatantly disrespectful of the roommate.
Yeah.
That would be very uncomfortable.
I feel like you're just like sitting there, you're a co-conspirator at that point by not just being like, hey, can like, do we not like this person at all? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is just a crazy, crazy roommate.
Yeah.
Doesn't even think of anyone else at all.
I think the solution here is, well, first of all, this is not your best friend. Best friends do not treat each other this way. And I would look into figuring out how to get out of the lease.
Yeah.
You know,
yes.
any way possible. Find a support
or
system.
like confront her, but like have a witness that you know.
I don't think at this point, even confronting her, like, she might be completely blind to her own behavior here, but
For
like,
sure.
I don't think that there's a way back. I think this person fundamentally just does not respect you in any way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But there's 7 months left on the lease. 7 months.
Well, the alternative here is that you have to try to be so annoying that you get her to break her lease.
Just turn it into Big Brother.
Which is like, either way, it's like you're in for a messy ride. That's for sure.
But there is more. So let's see. She makes anyone's stuff her own, especially mine. She used my stuff to give to her boyfriend or just use it for him in general. I'm sorry, she's gifting your stuff away.
Yeah. Well, there's a case right there. Thievery.
Yes.
Yeah, she's stealing from you.
Bring it up with the landlord. Yeah. There you go. So I try and keep it all with me. Lately, I don't even let my keys be out of my room. If someone has any advice that could help me get out of the lease or even just how to make it more manageable until I can leave after the year's up, it would be greatly appreciated. So what would you say, Dakota?
I mean, I would document any sort of thievery.
Yes.
Because I think, if you're talking about potentially criminal activity, you might have a case to get her removed. I haven't personally had a situation where it's like, I've never had a roommate this terrible.
Yeah.
But I would look into, first of all, you're still pretty young. You're right out of high school.
Right.
I would lean on your family here if you can. I'm not sure, if they're a positive force in your life, but wherever your positive support system lies, lean on them for advice, and maybe, because lawyers can be really expensive. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I would definitely browse, more. There's got to be some forums out there, maybe point you in the right direction in terms of what's available to you options wise.
Yes. I think some advice that has been given in like past stories about roommates is just like document everything.
Yeah,
like
straight up.
Like talk about what they're taking from you, what they're leaving around the house, how much people are coming over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What she says about you bringing people over, and then see if you can bring it up with the landlord.
That is the end of that story.
Whew.
And the end of this episode.
Wow, would you look at that?
Yeah. So if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you.
And we'll see you tomorrow.